All right, so we're starting on unit or module 3, which is about relations and functions. Again, we should have already put our full first and last name on the packet. Period 2. And then we go inside the table of contents. We are going to do the notes anatomy of a graph today. So we can go ahead and put 10-2 in the date that is going to happen, because we are going to move right in to that first set of notes. But we want to stay on that page because we do need to get our essential questions written in. Our first one: do the data represent a function? Question number 2: what are the features of the graph of this function? And number 3, why are representations of relations and functions useful? All right, so we are going to move on to page 7 for our first set of notes, anatomy of a graph. And I'm hoping that a lot of what we're talking about in this lesson is just review. We added this lesson in before the actual lessons in the unit, just to make sure we have our vocabulary down about the coordinate plane and how the coordinate plane works. So what you're looking at there, that what we call graph, is also known as a coordinate plane. The x-axis and the y-axis are the two lines that divide the coordinate plane into 4 quadrants. The origin is the point where the two lines intersect. So the x-axis is always the horizontal. So the line going left and right, this is our x-axis. The y-axis is always our vertical line, or our up and down. So that is our y-axis. The point where the two axes meet here, this is called the origin. And we're divided into 4 quadrants, and we use Roman numerals to name the 4 quadrants, and it starts in the upper right. So up here we have quadrant 1. Then it goes counterclockwise. So upper left is quadrant 2. Lower left is quadrant 3. And then lower right is quadrant 4, which a 4 is a 1 followed by a V. Or in Roman speak, 1 before 5. Because a V represents 5. And when they ask you to name quadrants, I expect you to use the Roman numerals to name them. And the Roman numerals have to have the top and bottom bar with them as well. So our quadrants, again, we start upper right with quadrant 1, and they go counterclockwise along the graph for 2, 3, and 4. Coordinates are always made up of an ordered pair. And that ordered pair is parenthesis x comma y parenthesis. Ordered pairs are always written in parentheses, and it's always the x coordinate that goes first, then the y coordinate. To graph each point, you use the first point or the x to go left or right from the origin. Then you use the second point or the y to go up or down from that position. So the signs of the numbers are telling us where we're going to end up. Positive goes to the right and up, negative goes to the left and down. We have to know how a coordinate plane is numbered to understand. In quadrant 1, both ordered pairs are going to be positive. So this would be a plus pair, 2 positive numbers. Because we would go right and up to get to that quadrant. To get to quadrant 2, we go left and up. So quadrant 2 is a negative combined with a positive. So our first number would be negative. Our second number would be positive. Quadrant 3, we would have to go to the left and down. So quadrant 3 is going to be a negative pair. And quadrant 4, we go to the right and down. So quadrant 4 is going to be a plus minus pair. So just by the signs of the numbers, you can tell what quadrant that we are going to end up in. So when we look at these ordered pairs here, just to explain in words what we would be doing with each ordered pair, we will get into graphing in this lesson. But we start, again, the ordered pair 4, 3. The 4 is represented by our x, the 3 is represented by the y. Ordered pairs are always x comma y. So the first number again tells me left or right. So this says to go 4 right, then 3 up. Positive, that's going to end up in that first quadrant. We always do our left-right number first, then our up-down number. Our next ordered pair, -3, -2. Again, the -3 is represented by x. The -2 is represented by y. So the first number being negative, that's going to be 3 left. Then 2 is negative, so 2 down. Negative, negative is going to end up in quadrant 3. The ordered pair 2, negative 4. Again, 2 is represented by the x. 4 is represented, y is represented by the negative 4. So this 2 is positive, so that's going to be 2 right. Then 4 down. 4 is negative, so it has to go down. All right, then we have the ordered pair negative 4, 1. Again, negative 4 is represented by x. 1 is our y. Negative 4 means I'm going to go 4 left. 1 is positive, so then 1 up. Again, you should be able to explain in words, are we going left, right with that first number, or are we going up, down with the second number? They both have a representation in one of those quadrants, in that coordinate plane. So we need to understand those points. So example 1 says, state the quadrant or axes that each point lies in. So our first point here they're asking us about is E, which is the ordered pair 5, negative 9. Again, 5 is representing our x, negative 9 is representing our y. If we look at it in terms of the signs, that means I have a plus, a minus. So which quadrant do the points have a plus, minus? We go back up to our graph. Which of those ordered pairs show a plus, minus? Quadrant 4, that lower right-hand quadrant. And I'm just going to put Q for quadrant, so quadrant 4. Point F, we have 5, 0. So the 5 is our x value, the 0 is our y value. Now this is an interesting situation because we have a plus, a 0. A 0 cannot be positive or negative, which means this is telling me I'm going 5 to the right and I'm not going up or down. So if I go 5 to the right and I don't go up or down, which axis will that point lie on? The x-axis, because I'm going to the right, that's my horizontal axis. So 5, 0, it's not in a quadrant, it's on the x-axis. If it's on an axis, it can't be part of any quadrant. My next point, G, is 1, 2. Again, 1 is representing x, 2 is representing y. Here I have a positive combo. So what quadrant are my positives in? Quadrant 1. And then H is the ordered pair 0, 4. So 0 is my x, 4 is my y. So this time I have a 0 and a positive number. So again, if I have a 0, I can't be inside a quadrant. This tells me I do not go left or right. I only go up. So which axis would that represent? The y-axis. So if the ordered pair starts with 0, you're going to be on the y-axis. If the ordered pair ends in 0, you're going to be on the x-axis. All right, number 2, A at 7, 9. Again, 7 is my x, 9 is my y. This is a plus plus pair. So what quadrant is it in? Quadrant 1. B is the ordered pair, 1, negative 10. So 1 is my x, negative 10 is my y. This time I have a positive negative pair. So which quadrant would that point fall in? 4. So this is going to be quadrant 4. I'm going to go to the right and then I'm going to go down, landing in quadrant 4. And then point C, we have negative 2, 4. Again, negative 2 is my x, 4 is my y. This time I have a negative, a positive. So what quadrant would that point end up in? Quadrant 2. So again, we need to understand what an ordered pair is telling us, what information it is giving us. All right, on the next page, now they're going to ask us to graph or plot some points. So we have point N here. They're asking us to graph 5, 0. So the 5 is a plus, a 0. So we're going to go to the right, but we're not going to go up or down. So I go 5 to the right. So there's my 5. And I'm not going up or down because of that 0. And then I need to make sure my ordered pair that I'm putting that letter, that capital letter, N is representing that point. So I need to make sure that that N is on my graph. The next point is M, negative 3, positive 3. So I have a negative, a positive. So again, I always start at the origin. I'm going to go 3 to the left. There's my minus 3. Then I'm going to go 3 up. And I'm going to label that point M. And then I have L at negative 5, 0. So L is going to be negative, 0, which means, again, my point is going to be on the x-axis because I only go to the left. I do not go up or down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there would be point L, negative 5, 0. So we have to remember each ordered pair, we start back at the origin. That is, origin means beginning. It's where we start. Number 4, point L. 3, 3. So we have a plus pair. So again, starting at the origin, I go 1, 2, 3. There's my plus 3, and then I go up 1, 2, 3. And that is my point L. Point M, 3, 4. Again, I have another plus pair here. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is going to give me my point M. Do you have to draw the little loops? No. I'm just showing you how I'm counting to get those points. And then we have N at negative 5, 1. So we have a negative positive. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's my negative 5. Up 1 for my plus 1. So there would be my point N. But again, the key here is we have to make sure we're starting at the at the origin each time. And then we're always graphing our X coordinate first. And from wherever we stop with the X coordinate, we go up or down from there for our Y coordinate. All right. Number 3, state the coordinates of each point, then state the quadrant or the axis for each point. So they've got 3 points graphed here, U, V, and T here in number 5. So they want us to name the ordered pair and what quadrant it is in. So if we start with point U here, again, I start at the origin. So I go over 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left. So that's going to be a minus 4. And then I go up 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be a plus 4. So the coordinates of U are parentheses negative 4, comma, positive 4. And then they want to know what quadrant that point is in. What quadrant is point U in? Quadrant 2. Okay, next I'm going to do point T. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right. And then we go up 1. So T is the ordered pair 5, comma 1. And what quadrant is that? Quadrant 1. And then V, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So again, we're going 5 to the right. And then up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. So V is the ordered pair 5, comma 5. And it is also in quadrant 1. So the same thing with number 6. We have M, L, and K. So if we start with point M, again, start at the origin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the left. So that is a -5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 up. So M is going to be the ordered pair -5, comma 4. And what quadrant is that? Quadrant 2. We do L next. L, I just go 1 to the left, so that's a -1, and 1 up, that's a +1. So L is -1, comma +1. And that is in the same quadrant as M, so that is also in quadrant 2. And the last point here is point K. Start at the origin, I go 2 to the right, and then 1, 2, 3 up, so +2 and +3. And what quadrant is that? Quadrant 1. There are 2 more problems at the top of the next page like this, 7 and 8. I'm going to pause for a moment while you complete 7 and 8, and then I will be calling on people to share answers. All right, so let's take a look at the answers to 7 and 8. So we have points G, H, and I. Let's start with point G. So for point G, Isaac Rios, what is the ordered pair for point G? -1, 4. We start at the origin, we went 1 to the left, then we went 1, 2, 3, 4 up. So G is the ordered pair -1, comma 4. And Grace, what quadrant is point G in? Quadrant 2. Next, we're going to go to point H. Jaden Asensio, what is the ordered pair for point H? Five, comma 3. So again, if we start at the origin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3. And then Jane and Buenabad, what quadrant is that point in? Point G was in quadrant 2. We're talking about point H. Quadrant 1. And then we have point I. Maria, what is the ordered pair for point I? Yeah, so we go 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's our -4. And then we go down 2 for -2. So -4, comma -2. And Melanie Jasso, what quadrant is point I located in? Quadrant 3. All right, the next one we have A, B, and C. So let's start with point A. Melody Luna, what is the ordered pair for point A? Yeah, so we go 2 to the left, there's our -2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down for our -5. And Cambria, what quadrant is that? Quadrant 3. Then let's go to point B. Anthony Gonzalez, what is the ordered pair for point B? 1, -4. We went 1 to the right, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 down to give us -4. And Gabriel, what quadrant is that? Quadrant 4. And then point C. Nayeli, what is the ordered pair for point C? -1, -4. Again, that 1 to the left, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 up. And Marvin, what quadrant is point C in? Quadrant 2.